On the 12th day of Arbor Day, Mr. Goldberg gave to me 12 crematoriums drillings, 11 carrots humping, 10 hamsters leaping, 9 cunts dancing, 8 koalas running, 7 emus swimming, 6 cross-dressing midgets rimming, 5 amoral fish, 4 gargantuan pills, 3 scrawny black panthers, 2 squealing clansmen, and a dildo in a pear tree.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. With me tonight is my good friend Jack. Jack, say hi.
Hi.
I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. I don't even know how to open the show because I never do a show at this time of night. You know what I mean, Jack?
It's this time of morning.
It is morning. It's because I'm already expecting it because we know it's going to happen. It is morning over in the British Isles, across Europe. You know what I mean? So it's morning. Good morning, everybody. Good Christmas morning to those of you over there. Hope you have a good Christmas goose because I hear that's what the British people eat.
No, they're not blessed with turkeys like North America.
Yeah, you guys should have turkey. It's better for you. Geese are nasty animals anyway.
You think that's why the Brits have fucked up teeth?
Because they eat goose?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we opened the show there with the 12 days of Arbor Day, the Lords of the Night inspired Mad Lib that Scribbles read there. That turned out better than I thought it would because the 12 Days of Christmas, I hate that song. I absolutely hate it. It makes no sense. Why would you want any of that shit for Christmas? Maybe the 5 golden rings. That's kind of a nice gift, but all the rest, I mean, who needs a Lord of Leaping?
Well, I always thought that somebody just gave their wife a circus for Christmas.
It kind of sounds like it.
Yeah, because like, what are you gonna do with all this crap? Like a bunch of guys bouncing around all over the place. What are you gonna do with that?
They sound like Hanukkah gifts. What the fuck? Well, that's what happens when you stretch it out over 12 days instead of just one. See, that's why we have good Christmases now because it's just one damn day. You save up and you get a good present. Anyway. Merry Christmas, everybody, to those of you who've already been on the actual Christmas day. And to those of you still stuck in Christmas Eve land like we are, I hope you had a great, what day is this, Tuesday?
Sure.
Tuesday. And I hope you're going to have a great Wednesday, great Christmas day. We're spending some time with family here at the house. The kids are coming up. My son's coming over. My other son's already here. We're going to have our traditional Christmas tacos. And then my daughter comes up the 26th. So a couple of days of Christmas for us. It's going to be kind of fun. Pincalo, thank you so much. 40 minutes early, but Merry Christmas to everyone. Yes, Merry Christmas to you too. But remember, it's morning somewhere. And hi, Sin. How you doing, man? Let me know if you want to come hang out. And you're right. It's whatever day I want it to be. That makes me sound like a whore. Like, what's your name, sweetie? Whatever you need it to be. It's kind of creepy, actually.
Not really. Sometimes you pay extra. They call you
Tonight, your name is Martha.
That would explain why I'm dressed like Batman.
There you go. There you go. It was funny today. My son, he was cold, and he goes, "Man, I forgot to bring a sweatshirt or anything with me." I'm like, well, I have hoodies. Let me go grab one for you. And I have like 30 hoodies, man, but I can't find any of them. I know where one is, but it's one I wear often, so it smells like smoke, so I didn't want to get in that one. So I go to my closet, and the only 2 that are in there is my Spider-Man one that zips all the way up so it has a Spider-Man face on it, or my Batman one that when you put the hood up, it has the cowl.
That's awesome.
I let him pick. He picked the Batman one. The only picture I've ever put of myself on Facebook, I had that Spider-Man one. I zipped it all the way up and had my wife take a picture of me, and I put it up like, there. All you people who bitched that I never put my picture up, there you go. They said I was cheating.
No, that's perfectly legit.
Yes, Batman for the Batman one. It bothers me because the forearms on it are tight. When I first put it on, it felt like a 13-year-old boy. Like my forearms were oddly misshapen, but it's just really tight in that area. The Spider-Man one is really comfortable. A bit early for, see, told you. We're going to get those bit early. Yeah, it is a little bit early, but it's just because I do not want to be up all night. I want to actually get some sleep. My oldest son, he was the one who always woke up. My oldest son, the child who, when he was allowed to, would sleep till like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Christmas Day, that boy was up at like 4:30 in the morning. And we have to, hey, let's just let people sleep another hour, okay? Just another hour. But he's not the one here. The other one who can sleep through both of my boys can sleep very well. He probably won't wake up until at least noon, so I'll get some sleep. But in case the family wakes up and Lady Monkey, she'll be up around 7, 8 o'clock. I don't want her to spend her whole Christmas morning alone, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not, that makes me sad if that happens. I mean, if it happens, it happens. That's what she gets for not waking me up. She'll have the cat to keep her. My son brought his cat up, Jack. This cat is, he's kind of weird. He loves to be pet, but he won't lay on you at all.
Yeah. We had a cat like that for a while.
I've never seen one like that before. They'll at least like put their head on you or something or lay in your lap while you're petting them. No. He will lay beside you, but not on you at all.
Yeah. We had one like that. He would show you his fangs as a sign of like he liked you. If you didn't see his fangs, he was probably going to pee on you later.
Nice.
Awesome cat. But yeah, he wouldn't sit on your lap ever.
My son tells me his cat is sexist. Said the only person he's ever heard this cat, or the first person he ever heard this cat hiss at, was a chick. And he goes, he only hisses at women. Like, that's because cats can sense evil.
Yeah.
He doesn't hiss at my wife. So see, not all women are evil, but a lot of them are.
It's true.
Oh, thank you for the cat sticker there, Gunsky. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. Pinkala says he's procrastinating on wrapping Christmas presents, playing Fallout 4 and listening to us.
Nice.
The presents, man, I hate wrapping presents. I realized this year that I was going to have to wrap them myself. Last year, my son and his girlfriend still lived with us, and I just gave her all the presents and she wrapped them for me. It was nice. It was like having my own little mall worker. And this year's like, well, fuck, I can't have Lady Monkey wrap her own gifts. And so I had to go wrap them. And I finished wrapping hers and she gets off break at that time. And she goes, oh, you're wrapping presents? Well, here, wrap all of these. So I was like, what the hell is that?
Apparently you're her mall worker.
Apparently. It wasn't too bad. It was only like 8 or 9 presents. But she always gives me shit for how I wrap. She says I wrap like a child.
I do too. In my family, my brother managed to start the tradition of wrapping things in newspaper.
Oh, yeah?
So now we don't wrap presents anymore because that became a thing.
Will says, bad timing, Monk, bad timing. Speaking of Will and who was the other one that did it for us? Gravehurst. I forget how you say it, over on Twitter. They're both the ones who captured that 12 days of Arbor Day for us. So thank you guys for doing that. I hate wrapping presents. I hate unwrapping presents. I'm the kind of guy, Jack, put it in a bag and I'm happy. You know, so there's a little bit of a surprise, but I don't want to have to rip it open. And those jackasses who like to put like, my father-in-law thought this was funny one year. He wrapped my present in a box. And he wrapped that box and put it in a box and then wrapped that box.
That's like, a bit much.
You're just being an asshole at that point.
Yeah. One year my mom bought me a watch and wrapped it in this big giant box full of styrofoam peanuts. And then wrapped that box up. That was as close to that as I got. But I don't mind unwrapping presents. I kind of like it. But anymore, we just do gift card exchanges when I actually am allowed to go to family functions.
Real quick, over on the Streamlabs, Nyala, that is very, very generous of you. Thank you so much. Who says, Merry Christmas to the monkey who entertains, informs, and educates. Love you, Monk. Love you back. Merry Christmas. Thank you. That is very, very kind of you. It was very kind. Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody. If you just getting here and you haven't heard me say it, I'll probably be saying it a lot. Merry Christmas. There was a long time in my life, Jack, where I didn't care about Christmas. It's a very family holiday, and my family had, had some tragedy, which left us a little bit of family short. And so it was several years from the time I was about 14 until, let's see, my daughter, probably about until 96. So what we're talking, oh God, I have to do math here. Almost a decade where I just didn't care about it. And then my daughter, she finally got old enough to be excited about Santa and be excited about presents. And that made me excited about it again. Thank you, mental minister. Whoops. Sorry, my friend. Metal minister who says, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Merry Christmas back.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, my children getting into Christmas, that brought me back into it because then it was a family holiday again. And it's so great. Kids they get so excited for it. So excited. I talked a little bit today because we've been talking every day. And she was making Christmas cookies. She was decorating Christmas cookies when I first called her. I'm like, what color are you making them? Pink. Everything with this child is pink. And so I said, did you paint any other colors? No. All right, fair enough. And she's putting sprinkles on. What color are the sprinkles? Oh, there's different kinds. Well, what's your favorite? Pink. Yeah, I figured. But she tells me she's going to wait up for Santa Claus. Now, this is a child who, if she's not asleep by 7:30 at night, she just becomes a bear. Two things happen. Either she becomes a bear, or if she's at our house, she gets really wired and you have to almost force her to lay down. And as soon as she does, she'll fall asleep.
Yeah.
And she sleeps until this child sleeps 12 hours a night. She needs her sleep. And so she tells me she's waiting up for Santa. I'm like, I don't know if I could wait up for Santa. She goes, well, I'm going to go to sleep and I'm going to wake myself up. I'm like, oh, I said, I don't know if I could do that. She goes, I will. No hesitation at all. No, I mean, the confidence of a child, just, I'm going to do it. And then she told me she was going to set up a mousetrap for him. Not a mousetrap to kill mice, but the game mousetrap, because she's been playing that. Yeah, she's going to set up one of those for Santa Claus.
She's going to build a Rube Goldberg device just to catch Santa. He's a magical elf. You can't catch him.
If this girl says she can do it, I think she can. I got to be honest with you. So good luck, Santa. Good luck out there. Angry Illinoisan, thank you so much. I can relate 3 out of 4 Christmases in the Navy left a bad taste in my mouth because I was in Japan away from my family. I get you. By the way, Angry, thank you so much for the gift over on Steam. You got a game for me and Satsu to try out. It looks interesting. I looked it up and yeah, I'm actually very curious how that game works because it kind of looks like a cross between almost a 7 Days to Die mixed with Green Hell. So yeah, that looks like it can be interesting. But yeah, family is an important part of Christmas. I feel like to get in the Christmas spirit, which is probably why you have so many depressed people around this time of year. I'm not going to guess on that. Maybe they're just sad people. Maybe they're just fat feminists. I don't know.
No, it's a bummer. I knew a guy who both his parents died on Christmas Day.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but once you have your own kids, man, it's a whole different ball game. And I've talked about this recently because it's something I never expected, Jack. I never expected in my life that for me the best part of the holidays would be my family coming around. But there's this sense of happiness that comes over me when all of my children and grandchildren and their significant others are in the house. Sometimes I'll go upstairs and I'll stand there and listen to them all having their different conversations and stuff until one of the grandbabies notices me and then I get pulled into it. But I'll just stand there and watch and listen, and it makes that old monkey heart happy.
Oh.
Well, yeah, it's. I always talk. Well, I don't always talk. I've talked with Lady Monkey a lot about the kind of presents she wants. She always wants practical things. And like, that's not what Christmas is for. It's supposed to be for silly shit. But then I stand there, I'm like, there's nothing silly about just watching the family and being happy they're there. That's like traditional as you can get. Might as well have a baby Jesus in the living room. Speaking of that, I saw this thing on Twitter a little while ago. I think it was at the end of Lords of the Night, as we were getting ready to come into this. There's this woman who she's giving up all Christmassy stuff this year. She's giving up trees and presents and lights, and she's just going to concentrate on the baby Jesus. And that's fine. It's fine. But here's the thing. You don't have to only do one or the other. You can enjoy the more festive parts of Christmas that have been added over the years and still, understand the true meaning of Christmas if you're a believer of the faith. You know what I mean? There's no reason you can't have a Christmas tree and like baby Jesus.
Yeah, well, there is something in the Bible about not putting trees in your home, but otherwise, yeah, I mean,
put it in your front yard.
The secular stuff, I mean, we stole a bunch of things from other religions and melded it into a secular holiday. Just there's nothing wrong with most of it. People are trying to have fun and they're trying to spread good things and just embrace it.
Look at Frosty the Snowman. We just stole him from kids making snowmen.
Yeah, pretty much.
And turned him into a Christmas icon. Rudolph, there's no, as far as I know, because I know what you're talking about there. Father Christmas being the most obvious example.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other things you can get. It always just reminds me of the South Park episode where they decide they have to take Jesus out of the Christmas play.
Oh, yeah.
So then we have to take Santa out of the Christmas play, and then we got to take reindeer and Rudolph, and you got to take anything out that might be religious in any way.
Then they end up with that performance art piece. That was great.
It was awesome by Michael Glass. Oh, it was fucking wonderful. It's really weird to me when people have this all or nothing kind of sense to it. You can remember the reason for the season and still partake in what everybody else does for the season. I'm just,
yeah, you can keep the spirit alive by being nice to people. That's what Jesus would have wanted.
Frosty the Snowman will be returned when the ransom is paid, not before.
We need proof of life. That carrot didn't mean anything.
I wish we had a bigger audience, Jack. And today, and not just for the normal reasons. I really wish we had a bigger audience. I want to make 5 amoral fish a thing. 5 amoral fish. I want to make like sweatshirts and t-shirts and all, and have it just running around wild on the internet. That is my favorite part of Christmas Eve so far. Other than, of course, talking to Little Butt because she was so cute today. And at one time there's a little coo in the background, and she tells me that's her sister because she thinks I have to guess. See, it's either your sister or your mom. Which one was it? Yeah, guys, and I know all about the real time of birth and all of that, but I have no problem with people celebrating in Christmas. We know probably why it was moved to the time it was and all that, but I don't have a problem with just embracing it and having fun with it. In fact, no offense, guys, but when somebody goes, actually, Jesus was born in the spring or early summer, I'm like, actually, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because Christmas is when we celebrate his birth.
Yes.
It's not his actual birthday. It's when we celebrate it because it happens to fall in the equinox. So we could get all those pagans to join our cult instead of their cult.
Plus, Santa just looks better than their pagan stuff.
Yeah, their pagan stuff was creepy and weird, and now we have Christmas lights because they were setting trees on fire. Fuck them.
And Santa looks like he's an old happy guy who brings me presents.
Yeah, he's not the bear snickle walking around with a switch trying to whip me because I was bad.
Yeah. It's like Western civilization takes crappy ideas and makes them better.
It's
we
true.
do it with everything.
It's true.
For instance, in the Muslim faith, you have Muhammad, who had some problems, and we changed that into Muhammad Ali, who was a great boxer.
Yeah, and we cut out the whole kitty diddling thing and made it boxing instead.
Yeah, and we in the Western world, that's what we do. We make things better. You know, Jack, it is weird to me. I grew up in San Diego for the first 7 years of my life. I don't remember any Christmases there. None. Well, that's not true. I remember one. We were at my aunt's house, but I only remember being inside. I don't remember the weather outside. My whole life, I only remember cold Christmases and for the most part, white Christmases. And there's no snow on the ground right now, and it's bothering me. We're not projected to get snow until Saturday. I'm like, this feels wrong.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Don't get me wrong, it's cold enough to be fucking Christmas out there, but it's not. There's no snow. I only like snow on Christmas, Jack. It's the only day I like it, and I must have pissed off somebody because I'm not getting it this year.
I like photos of snow on Christmas. Otherwise, snow can fuck right off.
I wonder if Santa has a midget fetish like Monkey. He does surround himself with little people after all. Hey, I'm nobody's judge, so.
Well, Santa is a jolly old elf, so he's with his own. It's not that he's got a fetish. He actually is an elf.
He's just a tall one.
Yeah, he's a little taller. That's it.
He's an elf with a pituitary gland distorter.
Yeah, let's not judge the man because he's a slightly different elf than the others.
Test subject says a green Christmas is a false Christmas. Doesn't it feel that way? I don't know. I just need snow on the ground, and it doesn't have to be a lot. I want it melted by the 26th. It needs to melt overnight, but otherwise, no. Monkey, you think Greta has a point? No, I think just sometimes weather changes.
Yeah, this happened about 15 years ago too, where we didn't have much snow on Christmas. And then
just a couple of years ago, we literally had so much snow in Michigan that they ran out of places to put it.
Yeah.
I remember reading that story. I'm like, oh, we're fucked.
No, they should have contacted Elon Musk to get some of his flamethrowers. Then they could have melted it.
Well, see, it actually becomes a problem because with that much snow, all of the rivers around here flooded when it melted. We also one year, it was like the first or second, maybe fifth year, very early on when we moved up here, we had a snow melt so fast. We still had a little bit of snow on the ground, but almost all of the snow melted in a day here in Michigan.
Damn.
Yeah, flooded fucking everything. Jar Jar Binks, thank you so much. The only time you'll hear me talking about Jesus is when our favorite politician is mentioned, Cortez. I enjoy the stories. Even though I'm not a religious person, I do enjoy the stories of the Bible. There's some interesting stories in there. Very much the way I enjoy any story, but I just have a problem with people who try to shit on the holiday. You want to go unless religion is fucking with me, I don't fuck with them anyway. But especially on a holiday, I never hear anybody bad mouthing Ramadan. Like nobody like, well, look, actually, what Ramadan is Muhammad. I don't even know what Ramadan actually is, but you don't hear anybody go, actually, that's just we stole that from the pagans who were left over after the Christians took it all. It's Cain and Abel. What a horrible story. What a horrible story. Reading the actual Cain and Abel story. The only reason I ever think about Cain and Abel, and I've actually thought about it recently, is because of the song "Blaze of Glory" from Bon Jovi for the
Young Guns soundtrack,
Young Guns 2 soundtrack. There's a line in it. I'm what Cain was to Abel. I'm what Cain was to Abel. Mr. Catch Me If You Can. I've been listening to so much country music now because I've been playing this game so much, and it goes with it. And while that's not technically country, it is a westerny song.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been listening to that, and then a lot of older country. Like I don't remember who put it in my head, but the song "The Yellow Rose of Texas."
Oh yeah.
songs I haven't listened to in a long time. Yeah, I've been on a country kick, you guys. But mostly outlaw songs. Give me some Waylon and Willie and the Boys. I grew up a Jehovah's Witness, and it never made sense to me how it became a shopping spree competition, but I don't hate it. I know a lot of people who complain about Christmas because of the I did read Jar Jar's one, right? Yes, okay. Who complain about the commercial aspect of what Christmas has become? Excuse me, real quick. Thank you, Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, bad mouth Ramadan. You might get stoned to death or your car blown up, and that's not racist. It's happened. I know exactly. And I've ranted about the pussies who will go after Christianity, but not Islam.
Yeah,
and those same pussies rarely go after Judaism either, lest they be branded. But when it comes to the commercialization of Christmas, I understand people who are like tired of it, but you don't have to engage. Just because everybody else is doesn't mean you have to. And that's always been something that's made me go, why are you bitching? Just don't do it. Just get a couple of presents for your family, have a small gathering at your house or whatever you consider to be enough. It's not like you're being forced to participate.
Well, that's why we do gift cards.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to fight with the crowds, and you can go shopping after Christmas and get whatever you want on clearance.
My children this year decided to just do a what do they call it? Elephant exchange or something like that. Each of them is buying a present, and then their significant others, and everybody just gets one of those presents.
Yeah, you like take turns or whatever.
Yeah, instead of having to, get everybody, because they're starting to get their own families, and that starts to get expensive.
Oh yeah.
We had to do that with my brother and sister-in-law way back when our children were little and their children were little. It's like, we're poor. We're going to get kids or gifts for the kids. Do you guys still want to exchange? No, we don't have to exchange. Let's just do kids. That made it a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
Because when you start growing up, that shit gets expensive.
Oh, fuck yeah. Like my brother, we haven't done a gift exchange in 20, 30 years since we were teenagers.
There you go. Yeah. Jar Jar Binks, again, thank you so much. It's fine to speak ill of Judaism. My cousin will happily sue you into the Stone Age. Thank you so much. And Devil Fruit Zero, thank you. If you're going to celebrate 9/11, fuck Ramadan. Yeah. I don't really want to get into such a heavy topic, but sure, why not? I find it funny how many diehard atheists are actually diehard anti-Christian.
Oh yeah,
I really do. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jack.
No, that's most of them. Is all I'll say.
Yeah, and you can sit there and tell me, well, no, look, I don't believe in any God. Okay, that's fine, but you only go after one religion. That's the only one that's the one that's prominent in our world. Yeah, but it's not the only one spoken about. It's not the only one practiced. And you give a pass to all the others. Why?
No,
because I'm a pussy. That's why. No, go ahead.
That's exactly it. See, atheists are to Christianity what strippers are to daddy issues.
Yes. It's so transparent to me.
Oh, it absolutely is. But they will, of course, deny it through their teeth.
Mm-hmm.
The rare ones that do criticize like Judaism are usually just raging anti-Semites.
Yeah, because they don't actually criticize the religion itself. They just, them damn Jews are running Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly. They're conspiracy theorists more than critics at that point.
Yeah, they don't actually go after the tenets of the religion. And they don't do that. I can't think of many, and I know somebody will go, AIU does it. I don't watch AIU. I'm sure he does. But the vast majority of them won't even touch Islam.
Yeah.
And if they do, it's very, very cursory, and they don't, the tenets of Islam, never, ever. They might go after radical Islam as, giving Islam a bad name.
Not if you've read the Quran.
You never hear that about Christians, though. You never hear them go, look, radical Christians are giving Christians a bad name. They're just like, fuck Christian, fuck baby Jesus.
Yeah.
Fuck him right in his baby ass.
Now, I don't know what priest touched them or whatever, but it's really kind of shallow and pathetic because their arguments are so tired at this point. Like, yeah, we know you don't like the Jesus. Leave us alone.
Yeah.
I just get tired of hearing it. It's just so childish after a while.
And most of the time that they're bitching, it's over something so stupid.
Yeah, it's trivial, but it's that same thing. It's that daddy issues thing. Like somebody somewhere took them to church and they had to do some hallelujahs or something, and they're all bent out of shape about it. Get over it. Grow up. Move on.
Mom made me go to Sunday school, and I was tired, y'all.
Yeah, that's how it starts to sound after a while. And I understand you don't like the religion. That's fine. But shitting all over people that aren't hurting you or causing you problems is just kind of lazy.
Mm-hmm. It is. And I'm not telling you, hey, go after Islam. Good luck to you if you decide to do that. But if you're going to sit there and preach about how anti-religion you are, how about being anti all religions? How about spreading that hate around a little bit? I'm sorry. That logic. Spread that logic around a little bit. I'm agnostic. I don't believe in anything. I believe that I don't know anything because I don't.
I find Creflo $1 and Benny Hinn hilarious as well, but I don't bother their believers because they're annoying people mostly. But I just leave them be. They leave me be. P Dog Knight is giving us Bon Jovi lyrics in the chat.
Shot through the heart. Yeah, I saw.
But
if you're gonna give me Bon Jovi lyrics, how about Wanted, Dead or Alive? I mean, I just told you I'm on the Western kick. Come on. Sorry, Jack. You were saying.
No worries. No, I just think I just leave them alone. They leave me alone. As long as they're not bothering me, I'm not going to mock their little exorcisms every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
On TV.
But most of the time, I mean, we have several Christians in our chat. They don't come in here. Hey, monkey. God said not to swear.
Oh,
they're Christians and they have their beliefs, and then they come here and listen and have fun with us. They don't fuck with us. I'm not gonna fuck with them.
I used to work mental health, as I've said before, and we had this kid in services. There wasn't actually anything wrong with him other than the fact that his parents didn't understand socialization. And he would spout Bible verses because they were hardcore Mormons.
Mm.
So he'd start spouting Bible verses as like, you shouldn't do that because in this book, on this passage, it says this. And finally, one day I looked at him and said, I don't care. And he had nothing.
Yeah. Monk God said nothing about swearing, so swear your ass off. There are verses in there that they may not specifically mention swearing, but swearing is considered a immorality to begin with. So yeah, I'm fucked, y'all.
The common conflation you get is the word curse.
Mm-hmm.
Because that meant something much, much different back then than it does now. Now we conflate cursing and swearing as the same thing, and it's not. You were allowed to say naughty words. You just couldn't say invoking the name of God to jinx someone so that they would be haunted. That is a curse. It was a manifestation of God's power onto someone, just like a witch would do.
I've been told not to take God's name in vain, but like when I say God damn it, I'm not. That's actually more of it's not. It's a colloquialism. How do you say that word? It's more just of a common term rather than actually taking God's name in vain. So I get it. So I try not to. I believe it or not, I do try not to say that kind of stuff. Because I'm not trying to be an asshole to people, but I don't have a problem with religious people. As long as you're not telling me you need to pass a law because the Bible told you to, then I don't have a problem with you.
Yeah.
You live your life, I'll live mine, and chances are we'll get along great as long as we're not, butting heads over this stupid shit. But yes, Monk, we know Prince of Queens, and we've talked about his passing here.
It's tragic.
But yeah, I think these, especially at holiday times, like, well, they're almost as bad as the people. Santa couldn't get to every house and like, shut up. Just let people enjoy the fucking season.
Yeah.
Jar Jar Binks, thank you so much. I only take God's name in vain at tax season. As well you should.
Well, I take him as a tax write-off because I have a Jewish accountant.
Because I'm a cowboy.
No, I think
that was well played, by the way. I was just singing Wanted Dead or Alive here. Go ahead.
No worries. Forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, it's I don't know. I think people just get too bent out of shape. As far as the Santa not being able to go to every house, he has magical powers. Did they write the rules for magic in this universe? No. Therefore, they don't get to decide. The great DM in the sky does, and they can suck it up because I don't care what kind of high-level magic he has. Obviously, he can do it. Deal with it. Fucking A. People are so obstinate.
Real quick, history always repeats itself. Says Monkey, you said last night that you aren't censoring comments. All I can say is that YouTube must have their bots monitoring my typing fingers. I'm not saying anything problematic. Let me ask you this. Are you saying Ranting Monkey? And Monk asked what happened with Prince of Queens. He got on some new medication that was making him a little bit dizzy, and he slipped in the shower and cracked his skull open. So yeah, to the topic, thoughts and prayers to his family, because man, what a horrible thing to have happen, especially this time of year, but at any time of year. I mean, there's never a good time to have your son slip and break their head. So yeah. Frank Hubbard, thank you. We don't actually say God's name, can't use in vain. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well.
Yeah. I don't want to get his attention by using his real name, because let's face it, that would end poorly for me.
For all of us involved. Shio says Bon Jovi is gayer than Ranting Monkey's hair. I don't care. The man can sing, and there are some epic songs from Bon Jovi back in the 80s, both on Slippery When Wet. And I've said before, and I will say again, New Jersey, one of the best complete albums ever. There's one song on there I don't like, and they always have country sounding songs on there, and there's one on there too. It's called Ride Cowboy Ride. And then what's the other one? Is it So You Want to Be a Cowboy? I can't remember the name of the second one, but there's a great song on there, Jack, that starts off and it sounds like it's on an old time record player, and then it stops and it kicks into a more modern rock song that just plays with it really well. Nice. Unfortunately, you have to be listening to the CD itself to get the whole effect, because like if you listen on iTunes and you don't have it right in order, it doesn't do it. Or if you listen on YouTube, there's a break and it actually fucks it all up. But I fucking love Bon Jovi. My Life, they're My Life, because there's so many songs out there called My Life. There's actually It's My Life. I can't remember, but I love that fucking song. So just so many great songs from them. So many. There's a reason they're still not only touring but putting out new albums all the time, because they're talented. And John is apparently a slave driver, man. He's like him and Richie. Richie's the lead guitarist for them. Yeah. They had kind of a falling out, and from what John said, it's because Richie ain't showing up for practice like he's supposed to. And John's like, he knows it. When he shows up, he can come and we'll let him play, but he's got to show the fuck up. And Richie's over there whining. Look, they're all millionaires. They don't have to be doing this anymore. And they're getting old, man. They're getting up there in the years.
The Stones still tour.
Yeah, but they made a pact with Satan, obviously.
Yeah.
There's no way Keith Richards should be even standing anymore. He looks worse than he looks like Biden and Sanders had an old baby together.
Now, I'm pretty sure that he's actually Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
He could be. He could be, because that's an old man who's done all the fucking drugs and looks like it. I don't care to catch Santa. I'm still trying to catch the leprechaun. Yeah, if you're going to catch one, the leprechaun's probably the better. But remember, leprechauns are tricky bastards. Even if you trick them and catch them, they will trick you. You got to put them on the leash.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi's only 57. Only 57? That's old to be rocking it out still. Going on tour. And you ever been under stage lights? Ugh. Under stage lights singing. Those guys get so dehydrated when after. You ever see them when they come off stage? Any rock band they're disgusting.
Yeah, they look smelly.
Jeff Foxworthy, a comedian, I realized. But he was I think it was in his book that he wrote. He tells people, look, if you're going to get backstage passes, come before the show. He says, because afterwards, I'm just disgusting. I'm covered in sweat. You have these hot lights on you the whole time you're up there. And even if you're not nervous, you just burn. And so, yeah, always try to meet these guys before the show. That's how you know you don't want to fuck with any the women who hang on to these bands and stuff, because they will go suck a nasty, sweaty dick.
Especially in the 80s when they wore leather pants.
Yeah. That had to smell like horrid, just nasty. And them girls are just like, I'll suck it. I'll suck it if you maybe remember my name. Oh, you don't remember it either, huh? Just dirty Diana's as far as the eye could see. Thank you, Sir Wolfgang, who says, hope you and yours has a Merry Christmas, monkey. Right back at, thank you so much for the donation. And Sir Wolfgang, I hope you and yours have a great one. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. Brad says, I do miss the spandex. Yeah, a lot of spandex back in the 80s. Everybody looked like a wrestler. Gunsky, thank you so much. Who says, Merry Christmas, Santa Claus, Snowman, Mrs. Claus. Back at you. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Steven Tyler, he used to wear. He looked like he should be going and jumping in a ring with Hulk Hogan. Like, you're a grown man. Why are you wearing spandex pants?
That's a good question.
I know, right? Maybe it aired out better than leather. I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not. I don't know what they should be wearing up there. If I was them, I'd probably be naked just with sunblock on to help with the lights. But because, yeah, it's amazing how sweaty they get even after their first song. Ozzy died in the 80s, but no one told him, so he's still performing. Yeah, Ozzy looks horrible.
Yeah, he sounds like he died in the 80s.
There's Ansel says, hey, monkey, Merry Christmas to you and yours. Back at you. Merry Christmas. And Merry Christmas to everybody. I'm sure I missed people saying it, but Merry Christmas. Very, very, very Merry Christmas to all of you. Now that it's actually Christmas here where I'm at, it is Christmas Day, technically. 2 minutes in, guys. 2 minutes in. Santa is on his way. What were we just talking about? Oh, we were talking about sweaty balls. I feel like we could probably move off of sweaty balls.
Probably.
It's in defense of us, it has been a few shows since we mentioned balls at all. So I feel like we're growing as people.
I feel like we're not, but whatever.
Jack, you're supposed to be on my side.
I'm with you, but we're probably not actually growing as people.
I feel like you're undercutting me now.
Oh,
Look, we are growing as people. It might be in tiny, tiny baby steps. They're not even baby steps. It's like a baby crawl before they can actually pull themselves anywhere. But we're trying, damn it. I haven't said anything about vagina yet.
That's true.
And that's what I talk about half the time. Do you do anything for New Year's, Jack?
No.
I never have really either. One, I was never a big drinker, so I wasn't much fun at the parties because you don't want to party with people who aren't getting drunk. If you get drunk, you don't want to party with people who don't get drunk because they're going to remember all the shit you were trying to forget.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember when you put her panties on her head and she had shat in them? Yeah, you don't want anybody who remembers that stuff. Plus, I mean, I kind of judge drunks.
Yeah, I do too.
I like happy drunks. I do. I like happy people in general. But you always get the argumentative ones and the fighters and then the depressed ones. And I don't want to deal with those people on a happy night. So we always just stayed home with the kids and kind of did like a mock Christmas party or New Year's party here. That's where spray cheese became a big thing in the house. Because look, spray cheese on a cracker is an hors d'oeuvre to a child. And to a monkey, just throwing that out there.
That's true.
But for them, I mean, it's like, oh, cool. And you put out a little sausage and cheese platter and some vegetables with dip and the sparkling cider that I was the only one who ever liked. So I don't know why we did it every year, but just to make it feel like a little New Year's.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, I was never let's go out and get. I know people who have massive Halloween parties, and like, I don't want to be around you most of the time. Why would I want to be around you on my favorite day?
That's true.
Well, I did. There was one person I worked with who had a party that I would have gone to. She's a sweetheart. My wife knows her, and we got invited to hers. But she worked for me. I'm like, I can't do that. It's like, no, it's fine. Other people, one of my managers actually went. I'm like, yeah, they shouldn't have done that. That's a bad look.
Yeah, that's the appearance of impropriety.
Yep. Like, I love you. I hope you have a great time. But and for her, it was also an extra special day because she got married on Halloween. So it was a Halloween / anniversary party. Oof. I'm like, yep, I love you, but I can't go. Sorry. And she invited me like 3 years in a row and then finally just stopped. It's like, I cannot go. Sorry. I went to a Halloween party once. I was the only one to dress in costume. Wow. Who gets married on Halloween? People who are emo kids. Her and her husband are very, well, she's not as much, but he is definitely, you'd look at him and go, oh, emo. You'd look at his arm to see if there were superficial cuts. He's not like that. He just looks like that. He enjoys that kind of aesthetic. And she kind of likes the aesthetic too. She doesn't dress that way normally, and she looks rather normal. The worst she does is dye her hair that vampire red, that people have decided all vampires have. Yeah, it works on her, don't get me wrong, but that's as bad as she gets. But they're both into the whole goth kind of thing. So yeah, they got married on Halloween, which good for them. Goths don't get married, they have string binding ceremonies. Yeah. Emos don't get married. Nobody understands them enough.
They just write about it in their journals and write bad poetry.
Wouldn't a vampire want to stay incognito? Well, it's funny because this is something that has come up basically for, oh wow. Martin Nitram over on the Streamlabs. Thank you so much. That is very, very kind of you. Says, have a very Merry Christmas, Monkey. Thank you so very much. And have a Merry Christmas as well. You know what, Jack? I feel this is a good time to remind people we're brought to you by you. Is it wrong to shill on Christmas?
Nope. Jesus got presents on Christmas, but real quick here. Thank you, Martin Nitram. He said, Happy Christmas. Thank you very much for the large donation. Greatly appreciated.
Yes. Please like and share the stream. And if you can, the tip hat is out there. Jack's been dropping the link for both of our Streamlabs into the chat there. So we appreciate everything. We appreciate you guys, and we hope you do have a Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. Because I hope you have a Merry every day. I can't think of a time when we got off the show, I was like, I hope everybody has a bad fucking day. But one day I want to do that. Just like a random Thursday. I hope y'all have a bad fucking day. How about that?
One day I hope to be super pissed off.
I hope I'm very angry. Just finished wrapping gifts for the girls at the group home. That's very kind of you. That's a nice thing to do. Jesus got gold. I'm too poor for that. He also got frankincense and myrrh. I didn't even know what those are. And I had to look them up once. And it seems like a weird gift for babies. But apparently they were expensive spices back then, right?
Yeah.
Or, well, the one is a resin.
Yeah, it's frankincense is used as like for scent.
Yeah.
It's like an oil.
Shrouded Angel, thank you so much for the donation with no message. I appreciate it. That's very kind of you. I don't know what those signify because I don't know enough about the times. Look, we all understand gold.
Yeah. Well,
Gold
they're all
is,
status things that you would give to royalty.
All right, gotcha. It's like an anointing oil kind of thing.
Yeah, like frankincense was found in the tomb of pharaohs for like Tutankhamun and a couple of the others.
What else do you get a future king? How about a concubine? Oh, wrong kind of king. I'm thinking English king there. I'm just thinking, in a modern day baby shower, somebody showing up with gold, frankincense, and myrrh. They would be the weird one everybody talked about at work the next day. Did you see what that bitch brought? Smelly babies back then. Oh yeah, diapers back then were made out of hay. I don't know if that's true, but
I don't think that's true.
It's made out of hay, just like what the animals used. Yeah, at some point, do you realize, Jack? At some point, there were babies that didn't wear diapers at all.
Yeah, they had cloth, and
even before that, there had to have been a time in human history before we invented things to put on a baby's ass.
Yeah.
Damn, this thing's peeing again.
Well, back then, I assume everybody just peed wherever.
Right.
I was watching a documentary about a home in Britain that they were talking about what it would have looked like in the, I think, 1810s or so. Mm-hmm. It was this really poor people house. And they were like, yeah, there'd be straw on the ground. And then when it got too filthy with food and liquids, so what kind of liquids? Well, ale and urine and feces. They would just go right there in the house. And then when it got too deep, they'd throw new straw on top of it.
See, as I know I'm way too spoiled. I know I'm way too spoiled because I could not live without a toilet. I don't like outhouses. I don't like they're basically the outhouses that they put at like fairs and concerts and those things. No. Thank you so much, Evolved Potato, who says, "'Tis the season. Tell Jack to check his too." Thank you so much, Evolved Potato. Very, very kind of you. And Merry Christmas. Jack, check yours.
Oh, damn. Thank you, Evolved Potato. It's very awesome of you. Have a Merry Christmas. Same to you, buddy. That's very generous. Thanks. You guys are great.
They're the best audience on the planet, man, and probably on any planet. I haven't been to the others, but I'm willing to say on any planet.
Other planets below. Earth is where it's at.
I mean, this is where Earth is the America of the universe. Everybody wants to be here. Chamber pot of secrets. I try to think about how I would have lived back then, and it would have just been normal. But I've never grown up anywhere where you had to. Well, that's not true. When we first moved to the farm that we were going to, my dad was going to retire at. When we first got there, the plumbing wasn't working, so for like the first week, we had to use the outhouse that had been there since my father lived there as a child.
Wow.
Yeah. Even though it had been cleaned out, let me tell you, lingering scents. It doesn't go away. Andrew Joyner, thank you so much, who says, "Happy Christmas, people. Happy Christmas to you." Yeah, I forgot to say that to our British friends. Happy Christmas. That's what they say over there, right? They say happy rather than merry.
That's the same type of thing.
Do you Aussies, do you guys say happy or merry? I'm really not sure. But yeah, so we had to go in an outhouse, and I didn't poop for a week because I was not sitting on that thing.
Matt, I wanted you to know that wood shaving stuffed cloth was the diaper of the biblical era.
Oh man, those poor babies.
That sounds like chafing.
That sounds like splinters.
Yeah, fuck that.
Oh. Yeah, see, I've grown up too spoiled. But like I said, at some point there had to be babies that didn't have diapers. I think back, like just modern conveniences that we have. And I'm not even talking internet, man. I'm talking clothing. Like people used to try to wrap themselves in the biggest leaf they could find.
Yeah, like animal skins and they didn't have weaving and I don't know. You get used to like modern clothing with the real thin threads.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fairly recent invention.
It really is. Yeah. When I was a kid, I hated shirts because they were hard to. I have a big head, so like shirts for kids, they were really hard to get over my head, and I'd always get stuck in the damn thing, and Mom would have to force it on. Seriously, guys, I have a big head. My oldest son has a head like his dad. Never had that problem because the fabric just slides right down and then comes back. Like it. Mine would look all stretched out, like somebody been yanking on the sides. Yeah, I got a big old head, y'all. I'm not kidding when I say it's pretty much the same size as when I was born. You guys should see. It's a good thing as a cute baby, because otherwise I would have scared people. They'd be like, "What happened to that thing?" There are pictures of me from when I'm like 2, and half of my body is my head. I'm cute as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, but seriously, half of my fucking body is my head. I now know why. My mom was angry all the time. Actually, mom was happy all the time. But I will say my youngest brother, because I had 2 brothers, so my older brother and young brother, the youngest, he was C-section. I think I just destroyed mom on the way out. That birth canal was not going to take anymore.
Poor woman.
Is your father a doctor named John Dorian? No. But like, hey, I'm cute, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just don't pay too much attention to the sides, because you'll be like, oh my God, he has a really big head. See, I can make fun of myself. I can live with my deformities. I have no choice but to take your word for it, Ranting. Hey, it's true. I can live with I know my shortcomings. They're my legs. Not only do I have a long torso, I have a giant head. So imagine how small my legs are. Seriously, I'm 6 foot tall with a 29-inch inseam. I'm a little bit offended at that. I really do resemble kind of a monkey. And as I said, Jack, I did not know I had short legs until I met Lady Monkey. One day, Lady Monkey, she looks at me and she goes, "You have really short legs." And I was like, "Thank you."
No, I can't unsee that. Thanks.
Oh, she didn't mean to be, she wasn't being insulting. She was just pointing it out. Warren Malson, thank you so much. Who says, "Money for your money hole. Merry Christmas. Tell Jack to check his." Thank you so very much. And Merry Christmas to you. And Jack, check yours.
Will do. Thank you on the Streamlabs, Warren Malson. Money for your money. Merry Christmas. Thank you very much.
I think I'm supposed to be for your money hole.
I do like having money in my money hole.
Monkey, do you have long arms? Yes, I do. Your inseam is as long as mine, and I'm 5'9". My wife is 5'3", and the top of our hip bones, if we're standing up next to each other, are at the same spot.
That's disturbing.
I am an even 6 foot. She is 5'3". We have the same size legs. I just have this long ass body. So like when I'm sitting down, I look tall as fuck, man. You would imagine I'd stand up and be like 6'5". No, I stand up and I'm pretty much the same height. because my fucking legs are short as shit. I'm okay with all. Does this explain your midget fetish? Maybe. I can look at the things about me that are a little weird and laugh. I'm okay with it. I still look good. And when I was in shape, man, it was just this long, beautiful body to look at. Nobody even paid attention to my legs, and I had a cute ass. And like, wow, look at that dude. Now I'm kind of fat, and I'm like, that fat dude has short legs. Oh man, I'm 5'4", 6'2" arm span. Damn, I don't even know what my wingspan is or my.
Your arm span is usually your height, I think.
Yeah, mine's actually a little bit long. I want to say it's because 6 foot is 70 inches, right?
Yeah,
Am I doing the math right? Yeah. 6 times 12. Somebody do the math there. 72 inches. Something like, yeah, 72 because 60 is 5 foot. So yeah, 72. And I believe my fingertip to fingertip is 74. So it's just a little bit longer than my height. It's been a while since I measured. I'm almost positive it's 74 though. Yeah, I'm built like a monkey, guys. This is why I don't necessarily disagree with the theory of evolution, because I can look at myself and go, yeah, there was some monkey somewhere here. There was an ape or a gorilla in this mix somewhere. Monk, maybe a pop toy. Hey, I am what I am. I would. You can't change certain things about yourself, you know, Jack. So I don't fight. I can't make my head smaller. I can't pull out my legs, and I don't think I would if I could, because I like how I am. Those numbers change as you get older. Do they? Do your arms get longer as you get older?
Well, I think the rest of you is probably shrinking with the osteoporosis.
I don't have osteoporosis.
Not yet, but you will when you're older.
No, not me. I'm a calcified motherfucker.
Yeah, you sound like my mom now.
Your mom will go through like the change.
She's old, dude.
I don't go through changes.
Don't you? Don't you?
Well, none that are planned. It's not like at 40 you're supposed to just suddenly not be able to stand normal anymore.
That's true.
Monkeyist. Stop it. No, I do take in a lot of calcium. I love milk, and bananas are good for you as well. You need the potassium, and it's amazing how foods work together. So milk and bananas are a regular in my diet. I love milk, man. Milk is like the awesomeness. It is almost the drink of the gods, but Diet Pepsi beat it out.
Monkey is ranting Bigfoot.
That's right. I'm the Bigfoot they keep looking for. Oh. They don't realize that I'm kind of bald. Well, not my body, not my head.
You probably don't want to tell them that. I've seen those Bigfoot people. They're creepy.
I do have a glorious chest of hair. It's not like those people you see, not like David Hasselhoff is like, dude, put that away. It's just, I shaved my chest one time. Lady Monkey thought it would be funny. I'm like, sure, why not? We're in the shower together, and she grabs a razor and she does a little line. I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, come on. And so she shaved my chest. When that shit started growing back,
that itch like a motherfucker.
Oh, Adabisi, thank you so much. We had a friend when we were kids, orangutan, because of his freakishly long arms, he could skip with them. He actually did the skipping. Really? I've seen people like that. And it did, so he had the shoulders where he could pull that off too, because that's the part that looks the weirdest to me. And Adabisi, Merry Christmas, by the way. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you. Monk gets his calcium from spray cheese. I didn't even think about all the calcium in spray cheese. Yeah, man. Calcium. It's good for you. I keep preaching that to Lady Monkey, because Lady Monkey's my age. Calcium's going to become a thing that she needs in her life.
Yeah.
She's just not a milk drinker. I'm like, well, have some ice cream or something. Yeah, go ahead, Nuggets. Ask if you could drop his GoFundMe link. This is for the funeral fund for his father. So yeah, absolutely. And if you guys can, please consider donating. Milk is boob juice. Of course, it's good. That's another one of those things that I look at and I'm like, who was the first one? Who was the first one to start drinking animal titty milk?
Weibo. I don't know.
At some point in our past, there was one human who went, either, I'm going to drink some goat milk or I'm going to drink some cat milk or whatever, whichever one it was first, who decided to start drinking the juice of animals.
I have an answer for that. And this is how I think most foods were discovered to be safe or poisonous. Somebody was desperate and dying, and they had one option, and they went for it. In this case, somebody saw a calf nursing on a cow and was like, "Look, I'm gonna die if I don't get something. I'm gonna take the chance."
But why not kill the cow and eat that?
Well, maybe just needed a drink. All
right, fair enough. Reaper says, thanks again, Monk, for getting me out of the family Christmas. To you and me, Jack. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
That's what we're here for.
I want to know what kind of sick bastard tried oysters. I know, Backscan, there's so many things that we eat that if you actually think about, if you actually put any time into it, you're like, why the fuck would we even try that? And it's because we're a weird species.
Yeah, I think my theory holds pretty good weight, because if you think about it, that if you're desperate enough, you'll eat slugs or worms or whatever. And then you're like, oh, I didn't die from that. Cool.
Ebony says, didn't the Mongols drink the blood of their horses? I don't know that, but could be. I mean, you can consume blood. It's not the best thing for you. It can make you sick, but you could get away with it. John says, Merry Christmas, Monkey. Man, did I come in at a weird point. It's my opinion that there are very few non-weird points you can join one of these.
Pretty much.
Because we go all over the fucking place. Calcium phosphate may be in spray cheese. Sodium phosphate can inhibit the body's absorption of calcium. So the calcium phosphate may play a role in allowing calcium to be absorbed. Well, see, that's just proof that spray cheese is good cheese. Ebony says, I have the same thought about head cheese. Thank you so much for the donation. Head cheese, the first time I ever heard of it, we were going to visit my uncle, my weird uncle. I have 6 uncles on my dad's side, and he was the weird one. He was one of those. He was the only one that I know of who went off to Nam besides my dad, and he came back fucked up. Just a little bit. And after he followed that up with a string of bad marriages. And so he was just he was the weird uncle. Today he would look like a hipster. That's how he had his facial hair and everything. And it's just like, that's weird, man. Good guy, very nice guy. But yeah, he was just the weird uncle. And his son is actually the cousin I'm closest to. And it's because we met them when we first came back to Michigan. So I'm 7 years old. We go and he was the only cousin around that was our age. All the other ones were just being born. And his dad was eating head cheese. I'm like, what is that? And because it looked like he was eating garbage.
Yeah.
And that was the only time I'd ever seen head cheese, and I didn't pay too much attention to it until I went to a store one time and I looked at him like, I almost vomited right there. Like, that's disgusting. Yeah. So Mata says the source is Teen Vogue, so take it with a grain of salt. Look, Teen Vogue teaches young people how to have anal sex properly, so I think they are the best source ever. Galen, thank you so much, who says anything can be explained by a dare or a slave. Well, you got that too, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Head cheese equals meat jello. It is just so fucking nasty. And I can't believe people put that in their mouths. Somebody's talking about blowfish. Yeah, and blowfish, you can eat it, but it has to be cooked a very certain way. And you never know if it's cooked properly until you don't die from eating it.
Yeah, fuck that.
I don't like to take those kind of chances in my life.
No. I have enough problems. I don't need to fall over.
Yeah, fair enough. Head cheese, boiled. No, I don't do it. Well, no, not getting into what it actually is. That's disgusting. It's just nasty. And it's not cheese. It's cheese the way dick cheese is. And I feel the same way about eating both.
Yeah.
No, never. It's amazing how much crap a human can eat and not only survive, but live on. Yeah. I mean, we're an amazing species, but we're not the only ones. There's a lot of species that can do that shit. Dogs, man, those things can eat anything.
Oh yeah. Dogs and sharks. Sharks can eat all sorts of crazy shit.
Yeah. It's a certain kind of blowfish, fugu. The blowfish have to be on the East Coast and safe and yummy. Or the blowfish we have on the East Coast are safe and yummy. I'm not a fish person to begin with. I don't. Oh, Adabisi, thank you so much for the donation with no message. I appreciate that. That is very kind of you, sir. The whole idea of fish is disgusting to me anyway, but I can't eat it. It makes me, well, and it comes mostly from when I was a child. I didn't like the taste and so I would choke on it because Mom, if it went on my plate, I had to eat it. It comes back from the Depression era. So many people are like, if it's on your plate, you have to eat it.
Yeah.
It's like, but I didn't put it on my plate. Mom did this with a lot of stuff. Liver, broccoli. Mom used to get broccoli and then she'd get the spinach from a can, which don't do that to your children. If you're going to make them eat spinach, give them fresh spinach. That stuff's fun. That stuff's good, actually. That stuff from a can is just disgusting.
Yeah. Popeye likes it. No one else does.
That shit looks like somebody already ate it. But Mom would and she'd only put a little bit there, only a little bit. Like maybe this time that little bit won't be fucking gross to me. But I had to sit there until I ate it, and I would eventually choke it down. But it would take hours, man. I'm stubborn as fuck.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. That stuff's disgusting.
There's times, Jack, that I sat at our dinner table. We usually, Mom would serve dinner between 5 and 6, and there were times our bedtime was 9 o'clock, and it was getting to the point I was going to get a spanking because I was going to be missing bed if I didn't eat it.
Wow.
I'm not eating that nasty shit. It's disgusting. I would eventually do it, but I would always gag on it. And there's certain foods that I have trouble eating because of that. Even the thoughts of them. And fish was one of them. Like, ooh, we didn't eat very much fish, but the few times we had it, it was like,
I have a mixed relationship with fish. It's okay, but I don't like eating things that swim in their own poop.
Yeah, well, there's that too.
That's why I don't eat seafood, like sea roaches. Lobster or crawfish or crabs. They're all sea roaches.
Yeah. Now, the only one of those I've tried lobster, and it was disgusting. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, it's fucking gross.
Now, I see things like fresh tuna. I like tuna from a can, but like fresh tuna looks delicious. But I can't bring myself to try it. Like a tuna steak.
Yeah.
Salmon looks really good if it's cooked right. I just can't bring myself to put it in my mouth because I have a bad relationship with fish.
Yeah, I understand. That's totally legit.
What were the SJWs bitching about the first episode of Goblin Slayer? I don't know of Goblin Slayer or any bitching.
My understanding is Goblin Slayer has goblins that are like rapists.
Oh.
But I haven't read Goblin Slayer or watched the TV show, so I'm not 100% on that.
Monk says that canned tuna is not tuna. Yes, it is. And it's good tuna.
Real quick, over on the Streamlabs, thank you, BC, for the donation with no message. Very much appreciate it. Merry Christmas.
Growing up poor taught me to never reject food, even though I can now afford to eat what I want. Look, Drew, I grew up poor. And like I said, mom didn't put a lot on there, but if you're going to tell somebody they have to eat what's on their plate, at least let them decide what's on the plate. That's my message. Because no, we grew up poor like that. So, we didn't always have a lot of food, but look, I'm smart enough to know I could miss a meal and be fine. Like, I'll catch you tomorrow for the ramen, Ma. You can keep that liver and spinach, and I'll just catch ramen tomorrow. How about that?
My parents, I vaguely remember getting in trouble because I didn't like salmon, and we always had salmon patties because they were cheap. That shit was disgusting. So I got in trouble a few times for that, but it was never, a contest of wills with my parents.
Oh, dude. I honest to God don't know how my parents didn't kill me. I was a stubborn little shit. And my wife, I don't think she ever believed me quite how stubborn I was. And my children didn't believe. It's like, you guys do not understand. I've been this way my whole life. This isn't something I grew into. But my sister came up, and it was the first time my children ever got to meet him. And my wife had met her one time when we lived in Virginia, very briefly. So this was the first time they actually got to talk. And yeah, as siblings do when they meet your family, she started telling Frank stories. And yeah, I realized every goddamn one of them was about what a stubborn little shit I was.
That's funny.
I don't know how my mom didn't kill me. She raised 3 boys, and boys are hard to raise. Girls are mean, and they'll go lock themselves in their room, and the girls are just mean. Boys are stupid. We are dumb, and you never know what they're going to get into, and they will drive you insane because you're like, how did you not think about this before you did it? And mom raised 3 of us with me as one of them. The stubborn shit who, seriously, I would get into arguments with my mom that would last days. As a child, y'all. My mom died when I was 14. So all of this happened before I was 14. Well, before I was 15. Yeah, I was a handful. Oh man. Yeah, but we ate. We ate a lot of chicken in my house because when I was young, chicken was actually really cheap, especially wings and legs. So we had a lot of that. Mom was anemic, which is why we had to have spinach and liver. Liver and onions actually smells really good. It tastes like ass.
It's disgusting.
It smells wonderful. It's like, and the onions are fine, but that fucking liver's gross.
Nope, it's all disgusting. Smells like shit. My uncle made us eat that one time when he was babysitting us. His kid wouldn't eat his share, so we had to eat it, and it was just fucking disgusting. And then my cousin blew chunks all over the fucking table.
Yeah, I never made my children do that. Because I hated it as a child, and we're not in the depression anymore.
It's that mindset, man. It never goes away.
Yeah, if you grew up with parents who grew up by parents raised in the depression, because my grandma would have been Depression era, so my dad, raised whatever they raised on their farm is what they got to eat. Mom, she was raised by a Depression era mother who. Whatever they could get their hands on is what they eat. So you have to clean your plate. My life changed when I read an article, and I'm not kidding here. When I read an article that said you don't have to eat everything on your plate. I read this about 10 years ago. Because before then, if I put it on my plate, well, it's on my plate, I need to eat it. And it never occurred to me. It's like, you know what? You put too much on your plate, fat ass, throw the rest away.
Yeah.
because I was raised that way. I was just raised, you have to eat what's on your plate. And that's not a good thing to teach your child.
Yeah.
It really's not. If you're going to, especially if you're going to do that, teach them to take small portions before they do it.
Well, back then, it was a different mindset. So, like, my parents were kids of the Depression, so they've got all those idiosyncratic things, but they're really super old now. But yeah, it's passed on, and I try and limit how much I take so I don't get into that mindset.
Only liver from a fresh killed elk. Only time I had elk. I said elk, didn't I? Only time I had liver. Liver is just such a dry meat, and it doesn't taste good. It isn't, but it is so fucking dry.
Well, you know how the Indians always used everything off the animal?
Mm-hmm.
The liver went to the bad kids.
That's what they fished with. They didn't eat that shit. They were smarter than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to eat every. My mom, she always used to threaten that she was going to get cow's tongue because they ate that when they were little.
Ugh.
Like, I'm not putting that in my mouth. Don't get it. I won't eat it. It didn't help that plates got bigger in the 80s. You ain't lying, Jedi. Mom she tried to be nice about it. Like I said, she would give me just a tiny bit of each of these things because she knew I didn't like them. And we'd always have like potatoes or macaroni and cheese. The mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese were big in my house. So we ate a lot of that too. But like, she would give me one bite of liver. And seriously, I would sit there for 3 hours. I'm not eating that. And then it got to I'm going to get spanked. And it's like, all right, I'll eat it. I don't want spanked again today because I got spanked a lot. Earned them all, motherfucker, except one. We use a 3-bite rule. I make my children try it. Just take a bite, see if you like it. If you don't have to have it. That was the rule.
Should
and if they did
anything else?
No, I spoiled my children. No, the rule in my house, if you didn't like what we had for dinner, you could have a sandwich. Whatever kind of sandwich you want, you can have a sandwich. But or a hot dog, because my youngest really likes hot dogs. But my youngest pretty much grew up on hot dogs and macaroni and cheese because that's all he would eat.
Huh.
He was not a fan of any other foods. So yeah, we'd have dinner like, do you want some? Nope. And he'd already tried it. I'm like, all right, you want a hot dog? Yep. So he'd eat a hot dog. I can make a hot dog in the microwave in a minute. I didn't mind doing that. So yeah, in my house it was you got to eat what we have for dinner because that's all we're having. But yeah, I spoiled my kids a little bit in that regard. I didn't want to force them and I didn't want to starve them. So just how we did it.
That's why I'm glad I don't have kids. It'd be all kinds of fucked up right now.
I asked my grandpa how he lived during the Depression. He looked at me weird. Oh, the same I do now. You'd swear he was Jewish, one of the most frugal people I know. Well, we were probably smarter back then. The Depression made people have to be smarter about things.
Yeah.
We're a very wasteful nation now. Very wasteful.
Oh, yeah. They repaired stuff back then and they knew how to fix things. Now it's just you throw it away and get a new one.
Yep. Well, and in fairness, a lot of the stuff we can't repair. Like if one of these TVs went out on me, I couldn't just repair it. Back in the day, you just go down to the hardware store, get a new bulb, and your TV worked again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a kind of a little bit on both. The stuff is disposable because nobody knows how to fix it. So there's a market for that, so they make it disposable.
Well, also, if it's disposable, they can get the money for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Instead of, just somebody getting one for the bulbs. Hang on just a second here. I'm a little bit distracted. There we go. I see Polly's jumped in chat, so I tossed him a link there. So if he'd like to come hang out, Merry Christmas, Polly, if you don't come hang out, but Merry Christmas if you do. You know what? Merry Christmas in general.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas. Matt has said it now. If you're trying to repair an Apple product, they sue you. I'm not surprised.
It's one of the reasons I don't like Apple.
Yeah, Apple fucking sucks. Their stuff's way overrated.
It's not just that. Like, if my PC breaks, I can repair anything in it. or at least replace it myself. I can buy all the parts. I can upgrade, downgrade, buy from all different kinds of vendors. With Apple, they control everything. They have a monopoly on their little thing.
Yeah.
And, that's fine for them, and do your thing, but it's such a dickish way to do business. I don't want to do business with them.
Yeah. It's the old Kodak method of everything is proprietary. Kodak really mastered that in the old days. You used to have to send your camera off in like the early 1900s. You take your pictures, and then you send the camera off to them, and they'd take the roll out, develop it, put a new one in, and send it back. It's fucking genius, really.
No, I like the ability to put anything I want in here and not have to worry about it being an Apple product. Go fuck yourselves. That's Steve Jobs made that a thing. He Apple was already in that mindset, but he really went hard on that nonsense, and fuck Apple.
Yeah.
Do you remember when instead of calling them PCs, we called them IBM compatible?
Oh yeah.
Hey, IBM compatible just meant it wasn't an Apple product. It was whatever other kind of computer was IBM compatible because of the OS that was running. And IBM was the biggest one at the time. So, I like the ability to, if I want to put a part from vendor X and another part from vendor Y, I should be able to do that. Why can't you make your shit compatible, Apple?
They like money, and they tricked a bunch of stupid hipsters into buying new phones every year.
What's up, Polly?
Merry Christmas, all.
How's it going, Polly?
Sir, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I just caught an unintentional nap and then woke up and recaffeinating because I got to head out in a little bit, and I haven't wrapped nothing. So I got stuff to like literally not one present have I wrapped. I got rolls of paper and a bag of ribbons from the dollar store, but I got to make use of them. So
you said you have to head out in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I'm going to the second show in a midnight mass.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
The encore.
Yeah, that's right. And now I'm not Catholic, but nobody does it like the Catholics do in terms of pageantry and the size of the cathedral and you know what I mean? Like if you want to,
and you know what? For Christmas, that's awesome. For funerals, it sucks.
True story.
Why? Because there's only like 3% of the pews full, and it makes you feel like that person had no friends, or what's
my grandpa? I actually
there's a personal story behind this. Now I feel awful for laughing. Shit.
No, it's fine. It's fine because we all laugh about it. He actually married into the family. He was our step grandpa, so he's not actually related to any of us. But he was such a loving and kind man, and we all loved him. So the fucking place was packed.
Mm-hmm.
And this goddamn funeral took like 3 hours.
Yep.
And by the end of it, I'm like, I'm a little bit glad he's dead.
You know what's funny is that, okay, I hear the point you're making, but if you, I don't know if you've ever been to a black church, like a Black Southern Baptist, Black Pentecostal, like, man, 3.5 regular Sunday afternoon episodes is a church service, right? Like, not consistently, I should say all black churches, but God, nobody runs a long service like Black American churches, man.
There's a difference. And here's the difference. Those churches typically they have the choirs, and that it's exciting. It's not just Latin is boring.
What church were you attending? I heard you mention that before, and I thought at the time it's like, but they haven't done that in Catholicism since Vatican II in like the 70s. Like it's
very, very old school. You have to remember, I live in the middle of fucking nowhere. Everything up here is still like in the 1900s, early 1900s. But
I mean, there are still churches that do the Latin Mass, but I didn't. Okay, so that is what you were talking about. All right.
Yeah, just long ass service. Half of it was in Latin. They did the whole incense thing, walking around.
Oh, I hate the incense.
Is he walking around with incense again? He did it like 3 times.
Like, how smelly are the people in this church? You're that stinky shit around.
And look, I'm not. Like I said, with Christmas, that's awesome because it's the there's the whole story and there's pageantry there, and you're right. Yeah. Nobody does it like the Catholics for that. Mass. You guys have never been to a mass? Go. It's awesome. A Christmas mass.
Yeah.
No, don't
And
go.
it's-
It looks like standing and kneeling. Fuck that.
I recommend the experience. That's all I'm saying. If one of your Catholic friends dies, don't go to their funeral. Send a bouquet.
Yeah, send some cards. Show up at the graveside. Don't go to the fucking service. Oh my god,
horrible.
it's awful.
The only good part about it is I got to see my cousin, who I love, who I hadn't seen in a while, and of course my family got to see them, and I like them. But me and him got to hang out, and we spent like the first 20 minutes together just talking about how awful that fucking service was. It was so long. And white people church is so boring.
Okay, just really quick. We'll get back to that point in a second. Pete says, I have random trivia off the top of your head without looking up which company sold the first mouse. Like ye old pickled mouse company of New Hampshire, England.
It's a company you're not. Is it Xerox?
Oh, you're talking about computer mouse.
Did you think that somebody was selling plague-bearing rats?
That's why I said. What did I just say? Ye old pickled mouse company of England, whatever.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
I wasn't even trying to crack a joke. I was trying to be like, what the fuck is Pete talking about? I didn't even make, because you guys were talking about Apple and all right.
You thought they were selling Mickey?
No, because my first answer was Disney. Is that where you're going with this, Pete? We got what? Leave me alone.
You've been drinking, Polly.
Yes.
I
have. What?
The case.
Spot on monkey. Yes. Haha. I remembered that. I saw Chris mentions that Apple, they stole it from Xerox. No, Xerox actually sold it first. They were selling it as a business application. And it was the folks from Apple, they went in there to see a demonstration of it. And Xerox, they weren't selling it very well, and they didn't do a very good job with it. And they eventually like, well, fuck it, it's not working. And Apple's like, can we do that? And fuck it, we don't care. Xerox was the first ones they actually had a whole, they were the first ones to have what we would call a Windows kind of computer setup where you'd click on it. There's a documentary out there about this, and I saw it one time. So that's the only reason I'm not like smart. I just, for some reason, remembered that aspect of it. Xerox gave the specs to Microsoft and Apple. Yeah, I remember that, because Xerox was like, they were like, fuck it, this isn't really a good thing. It's not working out. And they kind of just threw it away. And Apple and I don't remember the Microsoft part of it. I do remember Apple being like, we'll do that.
Oh, Jesus. Over on my Streamlabs. Evolved Potato, thank you. That is exceptionally generous and not necessary on Christmas Eve of all times, man. But that makes it all the more appreciated. Deck the hall with boughs of holly. Well, how festive. Thank you very much again.
Polly, both Evolved and Check Your Logic told me to tell you to check your Streamlabs.
Well,
I know, but they told me to do it. So here I am.
So let's get back to white people church being boring. Now let's talk about black people church for a second. And I've been avoiding all the people in chat. Like I got a bunch of Merry Christmases back to me saying, which I really appreciate, and a bunch of people making fun of me for being a drinker. And I'm not drunk. I'm not the one driving me to second encore midnight mass is what I'm saying. It's, if you're going to go to church drunk. That's
Polly, you're not drunk. You're delightful.
That's right. I like Thomas Aquinas' line, drink to the point of hilarity.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's real quick in chat. Backscan asked me, didn't you say you've used Ubuntu? I've installed it on my old laptop and I'm trying to learn to use it. Any tips? I don't recall ever using that. So yeah, no tips. My tip would be YouTube. That's my tip for most things.
Yeah.
So if you go to black people church, which I have, an ex-girlfriend once, and then when a family member a different time, and then so anyway, like it's like, okay, the musical aspects of it are exciting, but if they're not into the Pentecostalism, then you don't get the jumping and the hooping and the hollering and the excitement with the music. It's just long. There's lots of solemn black churches. I get the idea of the Pentecostalism where it's like, feel the Holy Spirit, catch the Holy Spirit, that Holy Ghost in that tradition. But Oh man. And
no, don't catch the Holy Ghost. He's got shit to do. Leave him alone.
You're not the only one he needs to visit,
You don't get to keep him.
That's another good thing about Catholicism. They're into drinking. It's evangelicals that are all like, stop drinking. The Catholics are like, what? Why? They're a fun bunch. Quinn the Cultist, was it Baptist? One was Baptist and one was Southern Baptist, and the other one was a variety of Pentecostalism. I'd have to go through a Protestant tree to trace back what it was.
No.
White people church is just so dull. It could be overly solemn, but I think that's the point. If you want to see actual dull, actually dull, go to an Orthodox Jewish ceremony. Oh my God, man. Yeah. It's just Torah reading. And in slow. No,
it's slow phlegm. That's what it is.
It really is. I didn't want to mock Hebrew, but it really is.
No, there's just too much phlegm. It's just some guy standing up at the front going for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Hey, Polly, real quick, check your DMs.
All right then.
Let me know when you've seen them. What do we got going on here? Black churches, you can feel Jesus. Too bad they don't leave feeling that way.
Wow.
That's harsh. Did you see the message there?
I did.
Okay, cool.
I don't like getting dick pics anymore than the next guy. That was extremely out of line.
You dick.
I don't know if you guys saw this tweet I sent out earlier. No one reads my tweets. I watched a Styx, X, and Hammer video earlier on today. And okay. So Styx, X, and Hammer puts up a video titled "Why I Typically Say Merry Christmas as a Non-Christian." Now Styx is very into his occultism and occult history and paganism, etc. Right? So I'm like, and when I saw this, I thought, you know what? Here's my take on what he's going to do here. Maybe this is uncharitable, but I think Styx is going to go into a ramble. I know, weird, right, Jack?
But it's shocking, dude.
Faithless is moral panic.
I see you've watched Styx videos, Faithless. But I thought I want to hear what he's going to say, because I think he's going to come in your typical what the hell's the problem kind of attitude. But it was my bet with myself that he was eventually going to say, after all, Christmas is made up of a bunch of pagan traditions, which I represent. So I'm really adhering to the Yule log and bring greenery indoors from Germanic paganism, thus the Christmas tree, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right. And so they're really all an amalgam of pagan beliefs.
Sure.
And I guess, I mean, I have my thoughts on those various things, but this, I believe, is likely the most rambling video I've ever heard Styx, X, and Hammer make. You should watch it, if only for the comedic entertainment. I tweeted out, I wrote, perhaps Styx's most rambling video to date: smartphones, paganism, engagement rings, copycat murders, Logitech software, his YouTube upload schedule, dystopian slave technology, and ends the video, one of his last lines, I kid you not, with this quote: "I too like wandering in a loincloth and antlers."
Did he? No, the rest of it got cut off. He said, "I too like roaming around in a loincloth and antlers during a satanic panic." It just, the video cut that off for some reason.
It was, even the video was like, we're not saying that again.
It was so rambling. And yes, he kind of get to the point that I was making, perhaps not as uncharitably as I was assuming it. Yes, he talked about all of the religious traditions that went into whatever, but he declares Christmas to be, is like, come on, let's face it, at this point, it's wholly and entirely a civic holiday. And I think it's like, I think you mean cultural holiday. If it was a civic holiday, it would mean that it was governmentally ordinated, at least in some kind of official way, centrally. That would mean that it was, a civic holiday. I think it means cultural, but whatever. Yeah, it was great. I'm not even criticizing it. Like, I had a really good time watching it. It's like, man, you didn't really know what you wanted to say here, did you? Like Logitech software and your upload schedule and copycat murders and video virality. he was talking about for a while, and then how what's the European country was famous for weed, for hash and such for a while in Holland, the city. Amsterdam. Thank you. He's going to Amsterdam, or he just was in Amsterdam, or he's returning there. And he's like, that's, look, there's lots of cathedrals there, but it's an entirely irreligious place. He goes, from what I can tell, people walk around and they're not very religious at all. And I'm like, well, that's a hell of a social science sampling you got there, buddy. You walk around and you can tell from the look on them that they're not very religious. Because the churches look like they're locked up and nobody ever uses them. Because except for like the holidays and, I guess weekly on Sundays. And yeah, but it's not a very religious place is what I'm saying. It's like you're rambling so hard, you're undermining yourself within the same sentence. Stop.
Nice.
So yeah, if you check my Twitter, if you want to check out that video, it's worth.
I have a problem just with the idea of why you have to explain why you say Merry Christmas.
Yeah, you know what? There's a fuck ton of people in the comments as I scroll through that took the position you just did. What does it matter one way or another, even if you only break it down to just a cultural nicety at this time of year? Stop being a dick. A lot of stop being a dick came up again and again. And it was like, yeah, that's probably the easiest and first position somebody should land at. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, going back to the whole the fights over happy holidays and all that bullshit, my position has always been this: if you could wish me a happy Hanukkah, I will wish you one back. I mostly say Merry Christmas because that's the culture I grew up in. Mm-hmm. But to me, when somebody says Happy Hanukkah or somebody says Merry Christmas or even Happy Kwanzaa, they're wishing a nicety on you, and it's kind of a dickish thing to be like, "Hey, look, I don't believe in your shit. I think you should be saying this instead." How about you just take the nicety, repeat it back to them, and get on with your fucking day? It's like somebody saying "Have a nice day," except for they're actually wishing it to you in their faith or their cultural belief. Just don't be a dick. Why is that so hard?
Because there's a bunch of fedora tipping douchebags that around the holidays too. Actually. Over on the Streamlabs real quick. Thank you, Frank, for the donation. He said, Merry Christmas. Thought you should get some too. Thanks, man.
And which am I roboting, guys?
You were, but you're fine now.
All right, cool. A bunch of people at Otter bots more.
It happens to the best.
I love it. Okay, that's a nice little Transformers reference there. Merry Christmas from Frank. Thank you very much. This Catholic talk reminded me of a discussion you had a while back on why priests can't marry. The thought at the time was you can't devote yourself to God if you are also devoted to your wife. You know what? I'm going to do something you rarely hear on YouTube. I don't know about that. I've heard a number. I'm not sure. I've never really looked into it. I've heard a bunch of things offhandedly from people that its origin has to do with property in the church and property transfer, where if you it will go to your wife as opposed to going to the church, and they were losing a fuck ton of property. And this was at a time when the Catholic Church was like not extremely centralized and not extremely wealthy. So therefore, I don't know, I've heard that argument, and I've heard this one as well that Frank just said, and that very well might be the right one. I have no idea. I personally don't think it's great. I think that should kind of be for monks, not priests. But I don't know. I'm not going to tell them how to run their religion. It doesn't seem like a good idea, does it?
I could tell you the real reason.
Okay. I'm sure it's going to be a deadly serious one too. Let's hear it.
I'm sure.
All right, smart ass. No, it's the priests. All having kind of the same problem is that their wives kept catching them with the altar boys.
Oh, God damn it!
What? Oh, you went for the deadly serious and never used before one. Well done.
All of the celibate priests ended up diddling kids. See, we need to talk about this because you guys have destroyed the meaning of celibacy.
Oh, Matt has said the Pope just repealed the marriage ban.
No shit, actually.
Yeah, I don't know if he had actually. I didn't realize he'd actually done it. I know he was talking about it.
You know, here's my. You want to hear my quick little theological thought on this? I'm going to look
before you do though. Okay. Did he also repeal the chastity ban? Because I feel like being able, just because you're not celibate anymore, I feel like the chastity one should come off for marriage. I'm just saying, it's my opinion.
They should keep the one that keeps them from diddling kids.
Like, it's like get married but still be chaste. Like, what are you saying? Like that they should be able to pick up chicks on the weekend? I was just confused. You meant like, I hear you now.
There's a difference between celibacy and chastity. They take a vow of both.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's why every time these people celibate, you guys don't know what that means. It's been morphed so that it now means chaste as well. But that's why they take a chastity vow as well. Because if it was just a celibacy vow, then they could still go bone whoever they wanted to. They just couldn't marry him. There's a difference. These incels are actually enchaste. I'm sorry.
So what you're saying is incels are a type of priest.
Yes, it's a religious order. You were going to give us your opinion here, Polly, before I went off on my little rant there.
Oh, there's a whole fuck ton of things inside of Catholicism specifically, and Eastern Orthodox and Anglicanism and Eastern Catholicism and Coptic Christianity, as far as I know, in terms of here's things that are consistent with the faith. They're acts of devotion, but they're not required. They're devotionals. So the rosary comes to mind. No one's required to do their rosary prayers. No one's required to pray in front of icons in terms of Eastern Orthodoxy. They're all just additional add-ons. And it's like when it comes to using contraception and when it comes to priests being married, it's like you don't need to lift the ban on it, like go do it. In other words, I'm arguing that every position taken theologically before now was wrong. It's like, there's a way out of this, Pope. Let me tell you something. Argue that you can still do it as an additional devotion. It's just not required. Do you want to feel like you're doing, you want to take it to the next level? You want to do an extra level of spiritual athleticism? Then yeah, go celibate if you want. It's a monastic way of living, if you know what I mean. In the same way that you're not required to fast, but you can do it as an additional thing if you want to broaden and deepen the spirit and remain more focused, et cetera, et cetera. Like, go that way, man. Go that way.
Man, there seems to be a lot of side quests in Catholicism.
I love that. That's what I should have called it. A fucking side quest. That's great.
Hi, Nuts. Merry Christmas, sweetie.
Don't you want the extra XP? Come on.
I don't know. Is it really going to matter? Is there a different ending?
There's something, especially you, Monkey. You're a longtime gamer. Do you wait for the endings to see what happens with the story and read the credit roll at the end? Because I hear people talk about the different endings. Is it really different? Do you care?
Yes.
Okay, there it is. All right.
For me, because like when it comes to a movie or something, I don't care about spoiling that. But like a game, if it's one I'm going to be playing, I don't watch anything about it because I want to get in there. And now, if I beat it and it does have multiple endings, I don't go through and play it again. Or there's certain games where you can pause right before and take a different action, save right before. I go through, I play my playthrough, and then I'll go watch whatever the other endings are. But yeah, and then I do watch the credits mostly because I don't want to miss anything that might be hidden there.
Okay,
there never is, so I'm kind of stupid for doing it. But yeah, I get through the whole thing.
As a quick little side note, John Miller says we need another Martin Luther to make his 99 Theses, tap him to the Catholic Church. Maybe it'll work this time. Well, it did work last time. That's why we kind of got 400,000 different varieties of Protestantism now. But I mean, I'm just being a smartass because that argument goes both ways. It's like Catholicism's so centralized, and when you don't have that, what do you have? Every country church and a guy with a Bible thinks that he's a religious scholar. But anyway, it goes bad both ways, is my point. But do you know why Martin Luther tacked his theses to the church door?
They wouldn't let him in.
Well, it seems so obvious, right? Like, because then they couldn't deny it. He's throwing it in their face. No, it was like the community posting board. There was a whole bunch of other shit tacked there as well.
Oh,
No,
makes sense.
It's like the center of the community because everybody goes there. He tacked there, yeah, so no one could miss it, but it was like a bulletin board. It was still a very bold move, but it's not like there weren't a bunch of other things tacked there as well. Like, need a babysitter? Call, come to the third house on the right or whatever.
No, Polly, I think you're missing something very important that happened during this. Martin Luther invented Post-it notes.
Fair point. I'm just thinking, this is Christmas. Is it the right day to be talking about religion?
Well, according to Styx, it's a holy civic holiday. So the answer would be no. We need to.
It just struck me funny because this is like the only time we've ever been kind of on topic.
We could talk about sweaty balls again if you want.
I'm good. We got our sweaty balls out of the way early.
So last night we did a noir bar, and okay, look, I was drinking a little, I admit it. And
at the bar?
Yes.
Wow, you bastard.
Do they allow that?
we do it. I own it. It's like, goddamn right we do. And we started talking about the German Christmas pickle.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And Farr, who was keeping me company at the bar, said that's a myth. And I said, no. And then Badger denied it. And I'm like, and you believed him? He had to hide his German shame. And I went through this whole thing about how Germans have all this shame they need to hide. That's why you can't really trust what they're saying. I'm like, they started 2 world wars for God's sake, and they, and then the German Christmas pickle and sauerkraut. What's not to be ashamed of about that?
Many people are wishing us Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, you guys. Like I told you, I'm gonna be saying it all show because I enjoy Christmas time, and I really do hope everybody has a great Christmas. Professor Knapp says Germans are Catholics. Look, Germans have more to be ashamed of than Catholics do. They really do. The world wars. I mean, I feel like that's enough. And then they threw killing Jews on top of it. I mean, come on.
Well, luckily,
they should never look up.
What reminded me of this is when Martin Luther got brought up, and I'm like, I'm glad no one threw that in my face yesterday, because Martin Luther is an extremely sharp man. Like, it was that's a bold move, and yeah, he was absolutely German. And then, but somebody did bring up in chat, they're like, really, the printing press, Polly? And I'm like, ooh. And so I had to like talk fast to kind of like get out of that one. I don't think it worked, but I was like, well, the Germans don't get credit for that. Johann Gutenberg gets credit for that alone. It's I'm not letting all of Germany have that one.
Gutenberg sounds suspiciously Jewish.
It does. Faithless says, my sister-in-law broke out the pickle ornament last year. Your brother's a weird dude, man, but to each their own. If my sister-in-law broke out her pickle, I'd not talk to her probably anymore, because, like, you know what? I know you too well now.
There was a bunch of people in chat yesterday. Like Devil Fruit Zero says, sauerkraut is really good food. What are you talking about? But some other people said, yeah, good on you with the sauerkraut. It's gross. Last night in chat, there was a bunch of sauerkraut fans there.
Nasty.
I think it is too, and it's especially because the majority of my experience is people putting it on hot dogs. Really, unfortunately, you ever had that? Yeah,
it's better on sausage, but it's still nasty. I love the smell of it, but I hate the taste.
Okay, let me jump back to a previous topic real quick because I had to look something up. Wood block printing was invented in China around 220 AD. Movable type was invented by Bai Sheng in 1040 AD. Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press.
Yeah, but that's all anybody ever said. And that's what I said, the printing press.
No, that's not the same. Fuck them. Fuck the Germans. They didn't invent it. They stole it from China, and they put it on a big thing that slammed down because, they were probably trying to invent a guillotine at the same time.
No, he did the clever. I mean, okay, so a guy in China invents printing with movable type, and doesn't really share with anybody. And the system's overly ornate, and nobody cares. And like with so many Chinese inventions, gunpowder, they didn't really do anything with it.
Well, they didn't need to. They're busy making babies to populate the planet and become the dominant species.
Pop out all them women who are going to grow up to be hot Asian chicks for the love den down there in Jack's house.
That's right. That's right. They were thinking of me, Polly. They were worried about my sexual benefits, and I thank them for that. But they didn't need to do a lot of this stuff because they were like, we'll use it for peaceful means.
Well, just my thought on it, and I mean, like the kind of situation is that it was put on like you used a wine press and put the already invented movable type on it. That's why, like 50 years later, every town had a multiple printing presses in it. That was the revolution in knowledge exchange. That's the deal.
Man, we were stupid back then.
The obviousness of it before someone did it first, that kind of thing.
Oh, watch, I can do this. I'm better than the Chinese and Germans. I didn't have to do any of it. Look, I just printed.
That's a fair comparison. I think that's accurate.
It is.
And not incoherent at all what you just did.
Look, I'm American. We invent all the good stuff. You think China is stealing all our stuff because Gutenberg stole their movable type?
Probably.
And don't forget pasta.
Off about it.
Yeah.
And pasta.
Yeah.
And well, most of civilization that we wouldn't have modern war if it wasn't for the Chinese.
It's true.
Thanks, guys.
And you know what else they built that we're gonna copy now? A wall.
We should build one just like that.
Absolutely.
Only, the middle part where people can walk down, a moat with alligators, and make it like 6 feet wide so nobody can jump it.
Yep, with landmines in front of that so that they can't, no running jumps. Boom.
I think we give them poles and let them try to pole vault over an electrified fence.
They'll use that to fight the alligators I'm going to put in there.
No, I just think it would be funny. None of them are going to make it. We're going to make sure the pole's too short for it.
Oh, that's true.
And we have like pay-per-view cameras there.
Yeah, this is my plan. You're just reiterating.
I'm doing it with an electric fence, though.
Yeah, no. We got to have the wall so that you can have snipers up there to compete with the people that are renting the turrets.
Rented turrets would actually be a really good idea.
Yeah, you'd be able to do it through Xbox Live. So you just pay a small fee and you can challenge a sniper.
You know what? I'm willing to go further because I kind of discovered something when it comes to sauerkraut. It's any kind of vinegary, fermented in any sort cabbage thing. Because I don't like kimchi and I don't like coleslaw either.
Kimchi's fucking disgusting. It's just rotten food.
And I was telling people that last night, and even Far was like, "My God, you don't like coleslaw?" And I'm like, I've had it and it's been okay, but like I know people that just absolutely crave it, and they say things like, "Oh, this place is the coleslaw, it's fucking amazing." I've never had coleslaw.
KFC.
Yeah, don't knock my Christmas KFC. Real quick on over on the Streamlabs. Thank you, Evolved Potato, for the donation. For the last time, Polly, Germany didn't start World War or was responsible for World War One. After that, fuck them. But don't blame them for something they didn't do.
But they were still the bad guys, so fuck them. Who did kill Archduke Ferdinand? Was it
some anarchist,
Saudi?
I think.
Yeah, it was an anarchist.
It was a Saudi, I bet. They took down the towers and Ferdinand. Now Jack is wrong, except for the ones with radishes. What the fuck? What radishes? What did I miss?
What the hell? I didn't talk about radishes.
Anyway, you haven't had coleslaw before, Polly?
No, I have. I've never really appreciated it that much. Like I've had it and it's been okay, but I know people that crave it. And I've heard a lot of people make reference to like some barbecue joint that they know or whatever the fuck. And they say, "Oh man, if you had the coleslaw there, it's unbelievable." And it's like, I've never had coleslaw I would describe that way. What the hell?
There's a steakhouse around here. Their coleslaw is that good. Their corn muffins are also that good. Their corn muffins are so good. I've ordered them to take home.
Can you believe that many an Aussie, including Far, have never had cornbread or corn muffins?
How have you never had cornbread? Oh,
because like corn's super big here, but not there. So it's like, oh, that's sad because goddamn cornmeal makes some good muffins and bread. Holy shit.
Yeah, our Southern folk brought us the wonderful joys of that. And they're just criminals, so they didn't get Southern folk.
Franz Ferdinand was assassinated by Gavrilo Princip, a member of Young Bosnia. It's a group that was of assassins organized and armed by the Black Hand, which was founded in 1901 by Serbians. They were secret military society.
See, that's almost Saudi. Cornbread is overrated. All you need, you've not had the right cornbread.
Yeah, you need better cornbread.
Don't just get the shit in the box. You got to go somewhere where they make it. Mom used to make the best fucking cornbread, man, and I don't have her recipe, and it really bothers me. She also used to make homemade biscuits, man. Oh, they were so good. She grew up poor back in the, we were talking about the Depression days. You made your shit. You didn't buy it in a box. So yeah, she also, we never had mashed potatoes out of a box when Mom was alive. We had mashed potatoes all the time, and she mashed fucking potatoes. And then I grew up, and we always have them out of a box, and every now and then we'll make them real, and they just taste so good. They don't taste good enough to do it every time. They're not that good, but I've had banana bread, but not cornbread. Pete, you got to have some cornbread. It's awesome stuff, man. Come over to the States. I'll take you to the steakhouse. We'll have some ribs and coleslaw and cornbread, and you'll be like, I know why Americans are fat. Yeah, you got to be careful with coleslaw though, because you order it some places and it's fucking gross. It's like, what did you do? You deserve to be in jail for this.
Okay. Speaking of fat Americans, which something else that Styx brought up in that video. It was only 7 minutes long. The amount of topics he covered was amazing. Overweight Americans. He went because Santa Claus, after all, that's a corporate invention, and it's like, no, it's almost based entirely on Saint Nicholas. What are you talking about? And that's why he's old Saint Nick or just Saint Nick. And it's that's why you're making this argument, Sticks. It is the only thing that Coca-Cola did with him is put it on their advertising and make sure his suit was always red, as opposed to being sometimes red or green. To coincide with their corporate colors. I just don't think that was great. And he goes, and isn't it funny that with America's weight problem that we have and the health problems that we have, that the people that promoted the Fat Jolly Guy is also the company that sells flavored sugar water. But you're supposed to be talking about why you say Merry Christmas, Sticks. What the fuck? Great stuff.
Look, Santa wears red, and people get excited about it. What else happens when you wear red? Satanic panic.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Red is the color of Satan.
It's true.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my goodness. Guys, we've been going for 2 hours, and I wanted to do this early. I know we don't normally do it at this time. We started almost immediately after Lords of the Night, but I did that for a reason, so I can get some actual sleep tonight. So we are going to be
an early morning with kids. Am I right?
No, we actually don't.
Okay.
But I don't know what time Lady Monkey's up, and I don't want her to be sitting up alone, because me and my son will probably, if we were left to our own, sleep until 2 or okay. Why am I being so? If I could, I would sleep till 2. My body won't allow it, but my son will definitely do that. So the family's coming over later in the day for Christmas dinner, which is actually served at like lunchtime, and present exchange and all that. So yeah, I don't have to be up super early. But it's Christmas, so I don't want to leave Lady Monkey up there by herself alone, on Christmas. She probably likes her alone time, and I'm ruining it, but it's Christmas, so I'm doing it for her.
That's right. You force your company upon her.
Absolutely.
You can be alone any time of the year. I'm here now, damn it.
Just another thing about the Satanic Panic. I don't know if you realize this, but Santa and Satan are very close.
They are.
Letters.
But I believe that's part of the satanic conspiracy of all of the high people in society, politicians, doctors, lawyers. They're actually like Satanists behind closed doors. And they've used corporate entities to push Satanism on us through Santa Claus and many other means. At least that's what I've heard on multiple YouTube conspiracy videos.
A reindeer with a glowing nose. Doesn't that just sound like it's from hell?
No, see, this is all just a clever trick to appropriate Santa for the devil. Same way the OK symbol was stolen. This is a 4chan thing that's gone way too far.
the fuck is your picture?
Oh, that's Colonel Sanders.
Is that from from China?
From Japan, yeah.
Or is it Japan where the KFC thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw they sell like 10 times as much chicken as they normally would
Hell yeah.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, they have like pop-up food carts where they sell fucking KFC.
Jeez.
It's a big deal. It's a real big deal over there.
On the KFC note, guys, we are going to wrap this one up. Everybody, thank you so much for spending your Christmas Eve and the beginning of your Christmas with us. And thank you for the support all year. You guys are amazing. Thank you so very much for your generosity tonight. You guys are you guys complete me. And I mean that because now I get to have the good ramen noodles.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to get a vegetable to put in at one time. No, in all seriousness, I get to spice up my ramen, man. No, seriously, you guys, thank you so very much. I can't tell you how kind that is and how much I appreciate it. Jack, is there anything you'd like to show?
I'll throw my links in there for the latest videos that are like 2 days old. But yeah, thank you for the donations, guys. It's very, very helpful. It means a lot. Greatly appreciate it. And don't forget to, if you can, help out Moonshock and La Nuggets with their GoFundMes.
Indeed. And Polly, anything you'd like to show?
Yeah, here's excuse me. There is the link to my channel eventually came up. So yeah, go check out that over there. Wow, I got into chat before Jack did. That's weird. Anyway. Oh, really? No, on mine it is. It's just one chat post above.
You got potato screen.
Yeah, no shit. I'm always hey, when I do Noir Bar in iHouse, I'm up like 2 to 5 minutes behind what everyone else is posting. It's wild.
Oh wow.
Yeah, potatoisms.
Thing.
But speaking of potatoisms, yeah, you can go check out my channel where we do comic book curation. Where Jack's there and Inquisitor's there. We talk about all things comics, usually on Wednesdays, except for today because it's the Christmases. And then also Noir Bar, and I might be doing one later. I'm gonna have to see what happens. I actually have to leave like pretty much immediately. My ride's gonna be coming like any minute now. But when I get back, I'm probably gonna open the bar. I think so. Jack, if you're still up, you're welcome to come.
Cool.
I don't know if you'll still be up.
So
yeah, wait for the postings. That should be in about, I don't know, a couple hours or so.
All right. Tonight, I'm pretty sure we're going to be on my channel because I think Satsu's still with his family. I took Monday for him because he's with his family. I think he's still going to be there. So Lords of the Night, my channel, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Subject to change. That might be on his channel if he's home. No game stream after that scheduled. I might play some Red Dead after that. I was thinking about playing some tonight, but I'm just going to bed. So maybe in the morning, we'll see what happens. Depends on how early I end up waking up. But we'll see what happens. Lords of the Night we will be here for Christmas. Lords of the Night tonight, guys. Chat, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us. Jack, Polly, thank you guys for joining us. Everybody, have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next time.
Merry Christmas, all.